At 85 years old, I've come to understand that life doesn't slow down, it just changes form. You think you've seen it all until you realize some of the hardest lessons come at the very end. There's one decision I made that I think about more than I'd like to admit: moving into a nursing home. Now, I'm not saying this to scare you. I know for some people it's the right call. But I also know that if I could go back and have an honest conversation with my younger self, or even just ask a few more questions, I might have chosen differently. So, whether you're thinking about this for yourself or for someone you love, I want to share 5 things I've learned. Things no one told me. Things I had to live through to understand. These aren't just complaints. These are warnings, and maybe even lifelines. Because the moment you sign that admission paper, your world shifts in ways you never imagined. Let's begin. Regret 1. Trading freedom for security. I used to believe that security was the ultimate goal: a safe place to sleep, meals cooked, medical staff nearby. It all sounded like peace. What I didn't expect was how much freedom I'd give up in the process. You wake up when they tell you. You eat what's on the menu. You wait. Wait for help to get dressed. Wait for medication. Wait for permission to go outside. Freedom becomes something you remember, not something you live. At home, I used to wake up early and watch the sun rise from my porch. I'd shuffle out there in my slippers, coffee in hand, just soaking in the morning. Now, I look at the clock and wait for someone to knock on my door. That little ritual I loved, it's gone. And it's not just about routines. It's about agency, about feeling like your life is still yours. Regret 2. The silence of being left behind. When you move into a place like this, your world shrinks fast. Your social circle becomes the people on your hallway. Your calendar depends on someone else's schedule. And the people you love? They mean well, but life pulls them in different directions. At first, they visit, they call, they bring gifts and stories from outside. But then the calls slow down, the visits stretch farther apart. You hear, "I've been so busy," or "We'll come next weekend," but weekends come and go. You stop being a part of their everyday lives, and after a while, you start to wonder if they even notice how much you miss them. One of the toughest feelings in the world isn't being alone, it's feeling forgotten. So, if you're thinking of moving someone into a nursing home, remember, they don't just need safety, they need connection. They need to feel remembered. Regret 3. Losing the little things that make you. I used to fix clocks. Nothing fancy, just old tickers and pocket watches I'd pick up from yard sales. I'd tinker in the evenings, oiling gears and adjusting springs. I haven't touched a clock in over 2 years. There's nowhere to work, nowhere to keep tools, no space that feels like mine. You come into a nursing home and it's like they strip away the identity you built over decades. Hobbies fade, routines dissolve. The things that once gave you pride, they disappear. I met a woman here who used to teach piano. Her fingers still move like they remember the keys, but there's no piano in sight. She hums sometimes, but you can see it in her eyes. She misses that part of herself. Purpose isn't just about keeping busy, it's about feeling alive. And when it's gone, a part of you goes with it. Regret 4. Health declines when you stop using it. There's this idea that once you move into assisted living, you'll be healthier, safer, more taken care of. But here's the part no one tells you. The less you do, the less you can do. I used to walk every evening. Nothing far, just down the block and back. It kept my knees strong and my spirits high. Now, I sit more than I stand. I ride in a wheelchair not because I have to, but because it's easier. And that ease, over time, turns into weakness. I've watched friends go from walking confidently to barely shuffling, not because something broke, but because they stopped moving. Independence isn't just a feeling, it's a muscle, and if you don't use it, it fades. Regret 5, losing privacy and pride. You'd think after all these years I'd be used to people seeing me vulnerable, but nothing really prepares you for the day you need help getting dressed, or when someone knocks and walks in before you answer. Privacy disappears. Some days I don't mind. I'm grateful for the help. But there are other days I wish I could just close a door and be alone with my thoughts. Even simple things, using the bathroom, picking out your clothes, deciding what to eat, those decisions get made for you, or at least around you. And with that, a little piece of dignity disappears. It's not anyone's fault. The caregivers here are kind. They're doing their best. But the system isn't built for privacy. It's built for efficiency. And when dignity is traded for convenience, something precious gets lost. Before you decide, I'm not saying nursing homes are evil. For some, they truly are the safest option. But they come at a cost, and not just financially. So if you're thinking about this path, ask the deeper questions. Don't just ask, will they be safe? Ask, will they still feel alive? Visit often. Ask them how they're really feeling. Bring their old routines with them. Set up spaces that still feel like home. And if you're making the choice for yourself, hold on to what makes you, you. Demand your freedom, your voice, your habits, even if they're small. Because once they're gone, you'll wish someone had told you how much they mattered. If you found these thoughts helpful, leave a comment below. Let me know what resonated with you. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next story. We're building a place where wisdom doesn't fade, it grows together.